My fiancée declared icily, "Your family isn't welcome at our wedding, and that's final." I responded, "Okay," grabbed my suitcase and walked out. Then I called off the wedding and turned the venue into a family gathering spot. Now, she's desperately begging me to stop this chaos after seeing our joyful photos on Instagram. I, a 32-year-old man, am still reeling from the past month. Feels like an eternity. Roughly 4 weeks ago, my then fiancée, Claire, 30, obliterated our wedding plans and, by extension, our relationship. We'd been together 5 years, engaged for 1. Wedding preparations had been remarkably smooth until her decree. It happened on a Saturday. We were reviewing the guest list for what felt like the 100th time. The venue, Oakwood Haven, was secured, mostly with my money, which matters later. Caterers were paid. Invitations were nearly ready to go. Out of nowhere, Claire got this oddly resolute look. "Liam, about your family," she said. "I've decided they can't attend the wedding." I blinked, nearly choking. "Excuse me? My family? You mean my parents? My sister, who you picked as a bridesmaid? My aunts, uncles, cousins?" "Yes, all of them," she replied. "They're just too much. This is our day and I want it elegant, refined." "Not them. Too much," I said. "Claire, they adore you. They've been nothing but kind." "What are you even saying?" "They're not our type, Liam. Boisterous. A bit rough around the edges." "My mom agrees. It's better this way. End of story." "End of story," she said, like she was stating the obvious. My blood turned to frost in an instant. My parents, who chipped in for our first apartment's deposit. My sister, Emma, who was thrilled for Claire. "Claire," I said, "there's no wedding without my family. That's not up for debate. That's a fact." "Don't be so dramatic," she snapped. "It's a simple boundary. If you can't respect my comfort, maybe we need to rethink this whole thing." I stood up. "All right, I'm rethinking." The nerve. The sheer, brazen entitlement. She thought she could just erase my entire family for some aesthetic? I didn't yell. Didn't fight. Something in me just broke, quietly, decisively. "Fine." I walked to the bedroom, pulled out a duffel bag, and started packing. Deliberately, steadily. Claire followed, stunned. "What are you doing?" "Liam, are you serious?" "You're packing. You said, 'End of story.' I heard you. This story's over. You'd throw away our engagement, our life, over this?" she said, her voice climbing, a mix of shock and fury. "Because I want our wedding a certain way?" She started crying then. Genuine tears, maybe, or maybe just frustrated ones. Her best friend, Mia, 30, the maid of honor, called me that night after Claire ran to her. "Liam, Claire's a wreck. You can't just leave. She didn't mean it like that. You know how she gets about the wedding being perfect." "She meant every word, Mia," I said. "Demanding I cut out my whole family isn't perfectionism. It's cruel. But she loves you. You're blowing this out of proportion." Her mom, Diane, even said she gets Claire's worries about your family not meshing with their guests. "Great," I replied. "Claire made her choice. I've made mine. I'm at my sister's for now." Click. The next Monday, I tackled the venue. Oakwood Haven. I'd paid the $10,000 deposit and the $15,000 follow-up from my savings. The contract was in my name. I called them, canceled the wedding, and ate the deposit loss. Painful but fine. Then inspiration struck. "Actually," I asked, "is that weekend open for a big family event?" It was the same slot. I rebooked it for a family reunion, paying the remaining balance, which was cheaper without the fancy decor and formal dinner. Felt perfect. The other vendors. The caterer was a joint booking, but Claire's parents covered that deposit. I emailed Claire and her parents, formally stating the wedding was canceled and they'd need to handle cancellations for anything not solely in my name. I attached Claire's end of story text for clarity. No reply. Her belongings. She mostly lived at my place, which I own outright, bought before her. I texted her she had 1 week to collect her things. I pack them and leave them on the porch. No entry. I felt oddly calm, like I'd sidestepped a catastrophe. Hurt? Sure, deep down. Like an idiot. But mostly this steely resolve. She wanted me to choose. I chose my family. And myself. After Mia's call that first night, I heard nothing from Claire or her circle. Total silence. Until yesterday. That's when RSVPs for the family reunion at Oakwood Haven hit social media, with tags for me and the venue. Then my phone exploded with Claire's calls and texts. Update 1. 2 weeks later the family reunion happened. And it was incredible. But not without more drama, naturally. Claire's texts and calls started the second she saw the reunion posts. A flood. Liam, what is this? A family reunion? At Oakwood Haven? Are you out of your mind? That's my wedding venue. It's ours. The wedding's cancelled, Claire, I replied. You made that clear. The venue's in my name and I repurposed it. You have no say. Her voicemail swung between fury and sobbing. You're humiliating me. This is a twisted prank. My mom's appalled. Liam, please, I miss you. I messed up. It was just stress. Let's talk. We can fix this. We can still get married, just not there. Pick another place. Cancel this thing. Mia jumped in too predictably. Liam, this is heartless. Claire's shattered. You're rubbing it in her face. Stop this. She's not eating, barely sleeping. She was fine crushing my family, I said. She'll survive. This is happening. Blocked Mia. Then Claire's mom, Diane, 60, called. Liam dear, there's been a huge misunderstanding. Claire was just voicing some nerves. Pre-wedding jitters. She didn't mean to ban your wonderful family forever. Diane, I said. She said end of story. She was crystal clear. And you backed her concerns about my family clashing. Well, maybe a bit, she admitted. But canceling everything? And using the venue to rub it in? It's tacky, Liam. Claire's heartbroken. You owe her an apology. Make this right. Cancel this reunion. With respect, Diane, I owe her nothing. She made her choice. The reunion's on. My family's excited. Goodbye. Blocked Diane. The week before the reunion was tense. I half expected Claire to show up or try something. I had a friend stay over when I was home. My sister Emma was my anchor. The reunion itself? Pure magic. Oakwood Haven, tainted by Claire's ultimatum, was reborn. No rigid formality, just joy. Kids racing around. My uncle strumming his banjo. A huge barbecue instead of overpriced tiny plates. Games. A bounce house for the kids. Way cheaper than Claire's ice sculpture fantasy. My parents glowed. My aunts and uncles kept saying they were proud I stood up for them. We took tons of photos, group shots, goofy selfies, the lot. We posted them. Family first Oakwood bash. No wedding, just pure happiness. The day after, my phone lit up again. Claire, now frantic. Liam, please, we need to talk. I saw the photos. Everyone looks so happy. My friends are asking questions. This is a nightmare. Say we postponed. Say it was a planned family thing. Anything. You're making me look like a fool. You did this to ruin me. 10 minutes later, another text. You owe me for the caterer deposit. My parents paid that. And my dress? You covering that, you spiteful jerk. The gall was staggering. She torches our life. Makes insane demands. And I owe her? I sent one last reply before cutting her off completely. Claire, you ended us when you disrespected my family. Your vendor issues or finances are your problem. This is the end of all discussions, as you wanted. Then I blocked her number, her social media, everything. My family had the time of their lives. That's what counts. The deposit I lost feels like the best money I ever spent for my peace and dignity. Seeing my family's joy was worth everything. But I suspect Claire won't let this go quietly. Update 2. 1 month later, it's been about 6 weeks since the reunion, and life's settled into a quieter, better normal. The drama's mostly faded, but Claire's side made a few more absurd moves. A week after I blocked her, I got a formal letter. Not from a lawyer, but on fancy stationery, signed by Claire and Diane. It was a long-winded demand for mediation over my vindictive wedding cancellation and compensation for their non-refunded deposits, caterer, dress, florist they booked without my input, emotional distress, public humiliation from the reunion, and the value of gifts their side had to return or explain. They were trying to charge me for their embarrassment and her ultimatum's fallout. The letter hinted at further steps to protect Claire's reputation if I didn't comply, a veiled threat. I didn't respond. It was laughable. Emma, my paralegal sister, read it and called it pathetic posturing. Then came their smear campaign. Claire, with Mia and Diane as her megaphones, started spinning tales to mutual friends and anyone who'd listen. The story? I got cold feet, turned controlling, canceled the wedding in a huff, and threw a party to shame Claire. They left out her demand to ban my family. A few distant acquaintances bought it, sending me, "That was harsh, man" texts. I replied with Claire's end of story text and a link to the reunion photos, labeled, "What really matters." Most went quiet. Some apologized. The lowest blow came 2 weeks ago. I volunteer at a community center, teaching kids to code on weekends. The director, Mrs. Thompson, a kind woman, called me in. An anonymous parent had emailed concerns about my unstable emotional state and aggressive online behavior, questioning my suitability around kids. They cited my messy public breakup and provocative posts. My stomach dropped. This was a calculated hit on my passion and reputation. Luckily, Mrs. Thompson knows me well. I explained calmly, showed her Claire's text, and detailed the reunion and Claire's retaliation. I offered to step back if needed. She waved it off. "Liam, I've known you for years. This is someone's grudge, not a real issue. You're valued here." She promised to dismiss any more anonymous complaints. Huge relief, but it showed how far Claire's camp would go. Claire's fallout? From what I hear, I don't dig, but word spreads. Her perfect image is in tatters. When her demand leaked, even some of her friends were appalled. Her villain narrative flopped when my simple truth, her own words, made her look unreasonable. Financially, she and her parents lost their deposits. The caterer, florist, and others wouldn't refund them for her flip-flopping or ultimatums. Diane was reportedly livid about the money wasted on that ungrateful man. Oakwood Haven got inquiries for reunions after our photos, thrilled with the free publicity. Claire called them to complain about my event, and they told her the contract was mine and I met all terms. Mia's reportedly pulling back. Defending a friend is one thing, but supporting someone who makes outrageous demands and tantrums when it backfires gets old. Me? I'm great. That ordeal was a brutal but cleansing wake-up call. It revealed Claire's true nature before I married her. My family bond is stronger than ever. They saw me choose them without hesitation. Emma said, "I thought Claire was changing you. Good to see you're still you." That hit deep. I'm out the deposit, but it's a small price for freedom and self-respect. The peace of standing firm, rejecting manipulation, and protecting my family is priceless. Claire wanted a wedding without my family. She got no wedding, and my family had a blast in the very place she tried to bar them from. She wanted end of story, and now she has my silence forever. Sometimes, the best response is living well and letting people face the raw consequences of their own arrogance. Good riddance.